Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel where I put my hair in this weird braid and pretend like it doesn't look like crap. So studying for the CPA exam has been hard, my dudes. Hard. I'm having trouble finding the intrinsic motivation because I'm so used to having external motivations from school. So in an effort to help me get that motivation, I thought that it would be a great idea to stimulate the school environment by presenting what I learned to my parents. I used to love presentations when I was in high school and college because I felt like it was a better portrayal of how much I understood the information, or lack thereof. But I don't want to brag, but I have won my share of case comps in my day. I'm pretty proud of it. What I'm more proud of is I've helped a lot of case comp teams win their case comps. So I feel like I have some knowledge about presentations, I feel like I'm pretty good at, yeah. So here today, I will discuss my 6 steps to make a killer presentation and win whatever you're trying to do with your presentation. So let's get started. Number 1, who is your audience? So have you ever been in a presentation where you have completely zoned out? You got lost in the first 3 words that they said. And that's because they don't know who their audience is and they weren't able to effectively portray that in their presentation. What I mean by this is that we need to identify who our audience is so that we can grab their attention right from the beginning. You want to start out your presentation with a very general overview, but also have a killer bring in line. Say for example, you are presenting on a water bottle. You are a company that sells reusable water bottles and you want to convince someone who uses plastic water bottles to switch over and make the investment. The person who doesn't have a reusable water bottle and spends money on plastic water bottles. Number 2, figure out what the goal of the presentation is and how it relates to your audience. So is your presentation about persuading someone to do something, or is it to teach someone something? You need to identify what exactly the goal is and how it will benefit your audience, or else they will never pay attention to what you're saying. So your goal with your water bottle company is to sell them a water bottle. Identifying this goal might seem minuscule, but it is very important for the steps that I will talk about right now. Step number 3, find your story. So as I mentioned before, we need to know our audience and find the goal of the presentation, right? And how do we connect that? The way is to find your story. So for example, we're looking back at the water bottle company. Your audience is someone who doesn't have a reusable water bottle, but your goal is to sell them one. We need to find the story and able to persuade our audience to do what we want them to do. We need to find very valid points to portray our message. For example, so your story or points could be that, well, it's really expensive to buy those every day. You can show them data on how much money it would rack up versus how much it would cost for a water bottle. You can tell them the environmental ramifications of wasting so much plastic. You can show them how much easier it is to track how much water intake it is. You can show them the importance of being able to track those things. All of these points are steps for you to find your story of why your audience needs to fulfill your goal. See what I'm trying to connect here? Step number 4, tell your story. Now that you have your audience, your goal, and the points in order to bring your audience to your goal, we now need to tell that story. Find something to weave into your presentation. The one go-to that I always go to is having a character in your presentation where they walk through these points and they're finally at the end agree to fulfill the goal. So for example, if we're going back to your water bottle company, you can start the presentation by saying, meet X person. This person has never had a reusable water bottle in their life. They use approximately this many water bottles for their entire lifetime. They spent this much money and they had this many ramifications to the environment and they don't drink enough water. Like all the points that you have from your story and weave it through the presentation so that we can portray that message very clearly to your target audience. Number 5, have a killer PowerPoint. So I personally use Canva to make all of my PowerPoints because I just think that it is so pretty. But you don't have to use anything fancy to make a very good PowerPoint. The only thing that I would say is less words, the better. And every single thing that you put on your PowerPoint needs to emphasize a point. It should not distract them from what you're saying. It should literally enunciate whatever you're saying. Number 6, end with a powerful statement. You want to end your presentation with a statement that leaves your audience going, because they're not used to watching a presentation and being so engaged. So you want to end that presentation being like, wow, I got all that I could out of that. You know what I mean? Maybe it's a slogan, or you want to emphasize something at the end, or you just want to give an overall summary that really ties up the presentation together. But you need to find something to end that presentation with a bang so that your audience is left in awe. So if we go back to our water bottle example, my dudes, maybe you can leave them with a question like, now what is stopping you from doing something that is not only beneficial to you, but the environment as well? I don't know, I made that up on the spot, but you get what I'm saying. Something so powerful at the end that really ties up the presentation. So anyway, those are my tips for a successful presentation. If you want to see the presentation that I made, an overview of individual tax, I mainly just go over self-employment tax, like things like QBI deductions and all these nerdy accounting things. It's right here. You can click on this video that I will probably hopefully put here. Anyway, thanks for watching this video. Like, comment, subscribe if you enjoyed, and I will see you guys next time. And I promise I will look cuter. But it's fitting, right? Anyway, bye.